I've done many videos in regards to a vision I had in 2006. But before I continue, I wrote things down because I like to keep, with the stuff that I'm about to say so that I don't forget and don't start mumbling. But I will say this. If you naively think that Iran that has missiles that go Mach 15 times the speed of sound, 20 times the speed of sound, and they're not actually attacking or defending themselves against many of us Americans, and only 6 Americans have died, and only one jet has gone down, and the ship hasn't been touched. When they have attacked many bases, you got to be more than naive, really. You have to. And if you think that those ships that only hold 90 missiles, I want you to think about this real good, that only hold 90 missiles, okay, per ship, right? And they could outlast Iran that has cities with underground tunnels, with underground cities full of missiles, subatomic missiles, as well as they have bombed many of our bases throughout the Middle East, where now America can no longer hold those supplies. The USA government can no longer hold those supplies to be able to defend themselves. It's just a matter of time, guys. And I want you to understand that. And it's a lot worse than you think, which is why I want you to listen to me very carefully, because I have been writing on a lot of stuff that you don't know that was going on. We're not at war with Iran, okay? We at war with BRICS. This was planned, okay, because our dollar is collapsing, our empire is collapsing, and I wrote this down, so listen to me very carefully so I don't forget a simple topic. Ready? Our military, as I envision it, is screwed. Months and years ago, long before this war began, I recorded videos explaining exactly what we are now witnessing. I spoke about the dangers of regional war in the Middle East created by Israel and involvement of the United States. I warned about the possibility of Iran directly confronting Israel and how the United States will be pulled into a much larger conflict. And by the way, Israel and the United States, it is not the United States will be eventually joined, okay? The United States is already deeply involved and complicit. Our government has been funding, supplying weapons, providing intelligence, and giving political cover for Israel for years. We are not bystanders to this conflict. We are participants and complicit to these war crimes. I also warned that the Zionist government in Israel, along with the United States, was going to attack Iran and commit act of aggression. I said Iran would defend itself and that it was far more powerful and technologically advanced than we anticipated, and that it would wipe out the Zionist regime and destroy Israel. I also said that the United States, America, will be embarrassed, will be humiliated. This wasn't a guesswork. It was based on a vision I had in 2006, combined with years of studying geopolitics, military logistics, and shifting balances of global power. For years, the United States has been sending massive amount of military equipment, ammunition, and weapons system overseas to Israel and Ukraine. Wars consume resources quickly, and military stockpiles are not infinite and take time to replace. Okay? Then limited. Supplies are limited. At the same time, many of the minerals required to manufacture modern weapons, such as gallium and germanium, used in advanced electronics and military systems, as well as other minerals as well, are heavily controlled by countries like China. Restrictions on these materials have already disrupted global supply chains. On top of that, America has faced retaliatory economic pressure from China and Russia following tariffs, thanks to Trump, and the freezing of $300 billion of Russia's fund through the SWIFT financial system. Meanwhile, adversaries study strategy carefully. Modern warfare is no longer just tanks and soldiers. It involves drones, missiles, cyber warfare, economic pressure, and control over supply chains that we do not have. History shows that powerful nations begin to struggle when they become military overextended and financially over-leveraged at the same time. As I conveyed, the United States of America is, with statistical facts, and if you recall a video called Numbers Don't Lie, but Politicians Do. I show the graphs and statistical facts to so you can become informed. Today, the United States carry massively overextended and over-leveraged debt, maintains bases across the world, and faces growing geopolitical pressure from multiple directions. Our debts are about 128% higher than our GDP, and our country is being maintained by loans from other nations and investors via treasury bonds. And other nations that are subsidizing our debt by inflation and the mass printing of the petrodollar that is dying. At the same time, we are witnessing the acceleration of de-dollarization as more countries begin drastically reducing their holdings of United States Treasury and shifting away from the dollar as the world's reserve currency to prefer BRICS, a digital currency backed by 40% gold, thus tangible, with intrinsic value, and 60% of 5 national original members' baskets of goods, which are BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And there are other nations that have joined them, including Iran. What are we witnessing now in the Middle East is a result of tensions, genocide, war crimes that have been building for many years, and the results of the actions of greedy, parasitical elites and evil government, like in the USA. The conflict between Iran, Israel, and the United States has already escalated into direct strikes, missile attacks, regional instability, with the potential to pull Russia, China, and other global powers into the conflict as I saw it in a vision in 2006. Many people still believe the global balance of power will never change, but they are sadly mistaken. History shows that every empire eventually reaches a moment where its power is tested and collapses, just as Britain, Spain, Amsterdam, and Rome did, and we are next. We are entering one of the most moments now in America, as I warned years ago. The mystery Babylon, America, and all who became rich because of her commerce, greed, and atrocities will fall as well. Babylon will fall. Now, if you haven't seen my other videos where I have made a lot of predictions and things that I write, if you listen carefully, if you look at the videos when I start showing up, and when I go up here, please do, because a lot of times these videos are taken down, or the hard work I did with the statistical facts are removed. A lot of stuff happened. I mean, I have pages that have come down because I've been warning the public for many years. Okay? It's hard to explain it. You know, I had an out-of-body experience in which I saw the past, the present, and the future, and it's hard to explain. But if you look at my videos, there's no doubt that I did see something, because there's no way I would have predicted the war with Iran, right? Israel attacking Iran, our government, the elites being involved in sexual misconduct and being, blackmailed. So much stuff that I keep putting it up here for you to read it, so you stop the video and read it so you can see I'm not lying. There's no way I would know this, and I did this years ago. So you yourself, if you take your time, you go to YouTube, you look at the title, and you go, when you see when it was uploaded, common sense, the timestamp will show that I predicted that years ago, months ago, before these things are occurring now. Therefore, I actually did know something. Why? Because I was sent here. I wouldn't say I was sent here. I came back. We all volunteers to come back to wake up the human race, to wake up the people here in America, okay? And it's 144,000 of us that has to wake up the masses, because right now there has to be a balance of good and evil. Remember the yin and the yang? Well, if we are unbalanced, it brings hell upon us. It brings death and destruction. So we have to balance it, all right? And one of the ways of balancing is to help you remember who you really are, how powerful you are, that God is within. Not what religion taught you, not what you've been programmed to believe, because time is running out. And we all need to wake up. We need to get into that, vibrate at a higher frequency with the spirit of love for the entire human race, so that Christ consciousness. Everything you believe and everything you were shown is a lie. So that's all I have for you. Bye-bye.